Now we have two finals taking place simultaneously, the women's vault competition and the men's pommel horse. Let's bring out the finalists.
So we can present you in a good way. Das war noch ein bisschen drin von der Qualifikationsstart. Aber es ist ein schönes Bildergebnis.
We look out over the Lausitz arena in Cottbus and get ready for the women's vault and men's pommel horse competitions. I think the camera is at the wrong end of the line here. Just to clarify, we should have seen An Chang-ok of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the top qualifier, then Alice Vilkova of the Czech Republic, fourth best qualifier, then Oksana Chusevitna, sixth best qualifier. Now we have Valentina Georgieva of Bulgaria, second best in qualifying. Great Britain's Abby Martin, the eighth best in qualification. Natalia Escalera of Mexico, fifth best in the preliminary round. Laia Font from Spain, third best in qualifying. And the seventh strongest qualifier, Carla Navas of Panama. Now to the finalists in the men's pommel horse competition. Matvei Petrov of Albania, third best, European champion from 2020. Laurent de Monk of the Netherlands, seventh best in the preliminary round. Ukraine's Ilya Kovtun, the sixth best in qualification. World all-around silver medalist from last year. Gogi Kachikian of Armenia, fourth best in qualification. Ahmad Abu Al-Soud of Jordanian, two-time World Championship medalist, fifth best in qualifying. Nariman Kurbanov of Kazakhstan, the reigning champion of Asia, top qualifier. Benjamin Osberger of France, eighth best in qualification. And Ho Ung of the Republic of Korea, second best in qualification. He was the silver medalist in Cairo behind the Jordanian Ahmad Abu Al-Soud. The finalists in the men's pommel horse competition, the top performer in qualification, Nariman Kurbanov, he'll go sixth in the order. The gentleman who won in Cairo, Ahmad Abu Al-Soud, will go fifth. This is an extraordinarily competitive and tight pommel horse race for the Olympic Games. The finalists in the vault competition. Top qualifier, the champion in Cairo, An Chang-ok of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. She has absolutely comprehensively the difficulty to win this. The second best in qualification was over half a mark behind. That's Valentina Georgieva of Bulgaria. So just to go through those Olympic qualification protocols one further time. Not every gymnast here is going for a spot at the Olympiad because they have already secured potentially an all-around spot at the World Championships, or because they're part of a team that has qualified for the Games, like the Netherlands, and so they are not eligible if you're from a team that's already qualified to win one of the World Cup spots. There are some gymnasts who have not secured a World Championship place and not secured a team place, or whose nation is not so good a team place, for them it's clear cut. Everything counts here without any ifs, buts and maybes. For the gymnasts from most of the continents, there are still continental spots to be awarded, but a tiny number across the world. The America spots have already been settled due to Santiago 2023, the Pan American Games, and if all of this is giving you something of a headache, I entirely understand. It's rather complicated. But what is absolutely clear is the men's pommel horse race is one of the most competitive in all of the 10 apparatus routes. It is going to be very, very hard to secure a place at Paris 2024. I can even say the name of the Olympiad correctly, it would be a good start, through the pommel horse route. And you have in there people like Matvey Petrov, who was the first reserve in the Olympic final last time around. Bulgaria's Valentina Georgieva back in competition after a dreadful injury at the European Championships of 2022. It's wonderful to have her returning. To the men's pommel horse final. Albania's Matvey Petrov, third best in qualification, a winner of 7 World Cup medals, 4 of them gold, and he first competed in Cottbus in 2014. He was 14th in Cairo. This is an enormously important routine for him to try to get one of those 2 pommel horse spots. Clearance is pretty secure so far. Now, the flare work. This is going well. Good beginning there from Matvey Petrov of Albania. Scored 15 in qualification. Well, his execution score in qualification, 8.6. .833. Execution down just a fraction, but it's very strong to begin. Now, there are some big scores likely to come. On the subject of big scores, let's go over to vault. And Chang-ok, 20 from Pyongyang in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Top qualifier. Starts with the double twisting Yurchenko. She is the reigning Asian Games champion. Won the title in Hangzhou last year in the delayed games. A little offline on the landing, but it's a powerfully executed vault from the champion in Cairo. But what really is the key differentiator for her, as we see a score of 13.866 for the first, not quite as tidy as qualification, is that she has a Cheng as her second vault. And this is absolutely the most difficult vault that we expect to see in this final. Well, well, well. Could be another place at the top of the table for An Chang-ok of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. There are not a huge number of gymnasts in the world who use the vault created by Chung Fei. Fantastic gymnast from days gone by. She's a little piked as she lands. The form is not the most secure in the air, but it is performed, and if it's performed with a large degree of correctness in this sort of final, looking at the difficulty aggregate scores across the field, it's going to be good enough for victory, you would suspect. She scored 14.233 in qualification. 14.133 for a 13.999 average. So she is down a little from qualification, from an execution standpoint. Now to Laurent de Munck of the Netherlands. Seventh best in the preliminary round. He was 10th at the last World Championships. He's just about getting the clearance. He's a little close in places. Small bend of the leg there. But he recovers quickly from it. Does such nice work on this piece. Heels well together. Plenty of power. Shivado work is tidy looking. Just a couple of issues going around into that dismount, but it was very nicely performed by and large from Laurent de Munck, the young man from the west coast of the Netherlands in Haarlem. The silver medalist at the European Championships of 2022, the first ever Dutchman to accomplish it. He's a very interesting individual, is Laurent de Munck, a researcher in biology, a graduate of the University of Applied Sciences in Leiden. He is, among other things, fluent in sign language. His difficulty was strong in qualification, 6.5 for 14.133, the difficulty is down quite a bit. Oh no, there we go, that makes more sense. 14.666, same difficulty as in qualification. And he is in second place, exactly the same score as in the preliminary round. Now we go to Olly Vilková of the Czech Republic. She has a double twisting Yurchenko in her arsenal. And a compressed landing from the 16-year-old from Brno in that aforementioned 5.0 difficulty vault. She is the reigning Czech champion on vault and also in all-around competition. She was fourth in Cairo. Still very new to the senior circuit is Olly Vilková. .6 for this vaulting qualification. Naturally it will be a fair bit down from that. 12.466. She made her senior international debut in Cottbus a year ago. Employs the layout Sukahara full as her second vault. I would say Vilková. What a shame that that double twisting Yurchenko just didn't quite work at the start, but she's a gymnast heading in the right direction. That can't be questioned. She has won international honours in World Challenge Cup competition, including a silver medal on vault. So 12.783 is the average, a 13.1 for the second vault, the layout Sukahara full. Exactly the same as qualification, but she's down overall as expected after that first vault. To Ilya Hogben of Ukraine on the Pommel horse, the 20-year-old. Still think it's remarkable that he's only 20, considering how much we've seen of him over the last few years of competition. Part of a Ukrainian team that has secured a place at the Olympiad and strongly expected to be at the heart of it. He was the 6th best in qualification. Well-controlled flare work, a small amount of bend in the centre of the body coming out of that. Quick, secure hand placement in the Wendeschwings. Nothing of real concern here for Ilya Hogben as he shows real strength going up into the pirouette to conclude his display. His performance on the parallel bars in Cairo was just superb. The all-around silver medalist at the last World Championships, Ilya Hogben. It is a score of 15 for Ilya Hogben. He's managed to gain a couple of tenths from qualifying in terms of his execution. It did look very tidy, didn't it? Now to Oksana Chusovitna of Uzbekistan. The 48-year-old who has competed now at 8 Olympic Games, 17 World Championships. Oh, well, she did not make the final in Cairo. Oksana Chusovitna sitting down the first vault. Gymnast whose longevity in this sport is absolutely unparalleled.
Also das ist hier ihre 18. Teilnahme beim Turnier der Meister. Also das muss man sich echt mal auf der Zunge zergehen lassen. 1989 war sie hier das allererste Mal dabei beim Turnier der Meister. Einfach wirklich unglaublich. Die Wertung ist da für
12.5. She will know the potential significance of that not going in her favour. And she responds well with a good second vault, Oksana Chusovitna, but the first vault 0.8 down from qualification. She was the winner of the Vault World Cup title last year across the events, but things looking a bit tricky for her in terms of a route to Paris 2024 now. The second vault, that was perfectly securely executed, the Tsukahara fault. .833 is the average. She is in second position by virtue of the high degree of difficulty. So it is An Chang-ok who leads, then Oksana Chusovitna, then Alitse Vulkova, Gurgik Kachikian of Armenia. Now on the pommel horse. He was 22nd in Cairo. .833, fourth best in the qualification process here. This is looking pacey and smooth. He's one one of the gymnasts who really needs these World Cup events, with no Armenian team going to the Olympic Games, and that was very nice to watch from young Gagik Kachikian. He's only 21, the man from Yerevan. Won the silver medal in Cottbus last year. Did seem to have a small loss of his form towards the end, but it wasn't a huge amount. His execution was 8.333 in qualification. He has been a gold medalist at World Challenge Cup level. His score is 14.8. Just a little down in execution from qualifying, and that puts him in third place. Now to Valentina Georgieva of Bulgaria. Huge congratulations to her on making it back from a fractured thigh and torn knee ligament at the European Championships in Munich, and she starts with a 1.5 twisting Yurchenko vault. 4.6 difficulty score. The road that she has been on has been incredibly tough, full of grueling rehabilitation. Such a remarkable young athlete, so disciplined and determined. There would have been nobody who wouldn't have understood if she'd stepped away from the sport after Munich 2022. It was a harrowing injury. It took a long time to remove her from the field of play. She was obviously in great pain. She's just 17. She is remarkable. 13.433 for the first vault, 1/10 shy of her qualification score. The second vault is also tidy looking from a pleased Valentina Georgieva. Just to remind you, 2 spots available at the Olympiad from each of these apparatus qualification paths. It was a powerful looking layout, Tsukahara full. She was the silver medalist in Cairo.
Аз пак казвам, че ги насметох, аз трябваше да сте последния напред, а не с десния.
13.366 for a 13.399, and second place for Valentina Georgieva, matching her qualification display. 6/10 behind An Chang-ok of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, who still has the lead. That takes us to the halfway mark of the women's vault final. Over in the men's pommel horse, it's Ilya Kovtun who leads. Kovtun of a Ukraine team who have secured a place at the Games. So we then think about the likes of Matvey Petrov of Albania, who's in second place, just ahead fractionally of Gugi Kachikian, the Armenian, and it probably will come down to those tiny hundredths. And Chang-ok comfortably ahead of Valentina Georgieva, with Oksana Chusovitina of Uzbekistan in third place. For some of the gymnasts, their qualification hopes will continue after today. For some of them, they will know realistically that the path is narrow, if not leading to a locked door. I think it's important for all of us to remember that for these gymnasts, that door is only closed when it's closed. And even if it seems unlikely that they're going to make it, you just never know what might happen in other circumstances, whether there'll be reallocated spots, whether there will be continental qualification success. Nothing can be signed on the dotted line until those final allocated places are confirmed for the Olympiad in Paris. For some gymnasts, they will be thinking not so concretely about Paris 2024, but about Los Angeles in 2028. Some of the new seniors coming through. There are always some surprises, aren't there, here and there? There are always those who you don't expect to be contenders for their team, who end up taking a place. Maybe they just come into form at the right time. Maybe there are other members of the team who are not able to compete. Once again, thank you all of you for joining and being part of the coverage of the FIG World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics in Cottbus, Germany at the Lausitz Arena. Great to have you with us as part of this journey that the athletes are undertaking to try to get to the greatest stage of them all, Paris 2024. And there's somebody who's entirely relaxed about the whole process, and let us all learn from their example. Best way to enjoy my commentary, that. Oh, what a gymnast we have here. What a gymnast. Ahmad Abu Al-Soud from Jordan. 2 times a World Championship medalist. Silver in Liverpool, and then a year on, bronze in Antwerp. He won in Cairo and comes into this as the 5th best in qualification. And he's going well. He's got lovely height, beautiful clearance over the pommels. He does lots of good one-handle work in this routine to gain his difficulty. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice from Ahmad Abu Al-Soud. Do you know, not so long ago, this is a gentleman who really struggled with finals. He really struggled with finals. He was so often a top performer in qualification who could not manage to stay on the apparatus in the final. But something has clicked of late with him, and it's a wonderful thing. There's another way that he bolsters difficulty. That big move with the hands across portions of the apparatus. He takes huge strides with his hands, and it's clever gymnastics. Now we'll see what we see in terms of difficulty here. I thought he was going to be up quite a bit from qualifying. I was about to say that the score of 15.3 comes in. He had a 6.0, I should say, in the preliminary round. Was playing it safe, evidently. Now he's gained half a mark. He goes into the lead. And he's really put the pressure on Nariman Kurbanov, who's next to go. Now we go to Abby Martin of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland on vault. Just 15. Well, she did well to hold on to that, Abby Martin. New to senior international level. What a brilliant year she had. Last year, a clean sweep of the junior all-around titles at the British, English and Welsh Championships. It's not the tidiest piece of vaulting we've seen from her. Yurchenko 1.5. In the air, not so great, but that landing, I mean, it's a phenomenal save. And that's great maturity from a young gymnast to hold on to that. Well, she had a high difficulty score in qualification for the first vault by 4/10 because she will receive a 4.6 maximum difficulty score for that vault. 13.1, so she's down at half a mark from qualification. But considering that she really did miss the block almost in its entirety, she did incredibly to land it. And being a great gymnast isn't, as I'm sure many of you know, always about what you manage to get right. It's about how you minimise what you don't get right. A little compressed there in the handspring front pike landing. Youngest competitor in the final, bright future, no question. No question about that for the youngster from the southwest of England. Great Britain has already qualified a team for the Olympic Games. They were one of the first teams to qualify back at the 2022 World Championships. For Martin, 12.65, 12.2 second vault, very similar to qualification. And we congratulate her on making her full senior international debut. Now we go to an experienced gymnast who's been put under pressure by that excellent performance from Ahmad Abu Al-Soud. This is Nariman Kurbanov of Kazakhstan, who scored 15.6 in qualification. That's 3/10 higher than we have just seen from the Jordanian. And this gentleman was 5th in Cairo. He needs this. Good luck to him. His work is so difficult. His extension is extraordinary, toes pointed. Such a long-looking body line. He's handled that very well, hasn't he? A pressure performance from the experienced Nariman Kurbanov, the reigning champion of Asia. He beat Ahmad Abu Al-Soud in Singapore at the Asian Championships last summer. His development over the last several years from a mental standpoint has been brilliant. He had a tough World Championships though, finishing 16th after 2 consecutive 4th place finishes in 2021 and 2022. And we should say as well, coming into this, that Cottbus has not been his friend. Over the last couple of editions, he has been the top qualifier twice in Cottbus before and finished 3rd and 7th respectively. That was very well done. He's gone into the lead, 15.433. Still the picture is very bright looking for Ahmad Abu Al-Soud, who won in Cairo after all. We go to Natalia Escalera of Mexico, 5th best in qualification. She is the reigning Mexican all-around champion. And she had an excellent 2023 internationally. Little hop to the side in the 1.5 twisting Yurchenko vault. Certainly goes out of bounds, very clear from that angle. She's been a medalist at the Pan American Games, the Pan American Championships, the Central American and Caribbean Games. And she was 3rd in Santiago at those aforementioned Pan American Games last year. 13.1. So that mark is down by several tenths from qualification. Second vault, secure looking from Natalia Escalera. Tidy performance from the Mexican. Sukahara full for the second vault. So she's in 3rd place, 13.1 the average. 13.1 for both of the vaults from Escalera. Tidier execution for the second as expected. Still Georgieva second and ahead in first place. Benjamin Osberger, penultimate gymnast on the Pommel horse. 8th best in qualification. He was 4th at the World Cup in Cairo. We've already seen him in the floor competition. Goes nicely into the handstand. Lost his leg form, and didn't he recover that well? I think, well, unfortunately it caught up with him. It's really regrettable from Benjamin Osberger. It's so difficult when the gymnast endures a form break right at the start of the routine. Does he get a little clip on the apparatus? Well, I was talking about before that, but certainly there wasn't when he actually came off. Was a very accomplished routine over 2 halves from Benjamin Osberger, as it always is. It's a technically highly skilled young gymnast. It's a shame that that happened so early on in the exercise. It looked for a moment as though he had managed to close the door on that break in form, but eventually it did catch up with him. He's been looking to push the difficulty up by a couple of tenths over the last year or so. 12.933. Unfortunately for him, that is a mark and a half lower than qualification. Just 1 to go on the Pommel horse. Gulbenov and Abu Soud secure of medals. Now to Laia Font of Spain, the penultimate gymnast to vault. Third best in qualification, 13.366. The Spaniards have a team spot at the Olympiad. There's a big adjustment back step from the landing of the double twisting Yurchenko. Just to correct myself from a moment ago, the Spanish men's team have secured a full complement at the Olympiad. 13.6 for Laia Font for the first vault. So just 1 left now in the women's vault final, as a very happy Laia Font, 17, just a matter of 4 days ago, departs. She's made 3 World Cup finals, yet to win a medal. Has she managed to get onto the podium here?
Und tatsächlich ein Fun-Fact dazu, ich habe vorhin mit ihr gesprochen, sie sagt, ja, dieses Jahr ist so schönes Wetter, hier ist nämlich ihre zweite Teilnahme hier beim Turnier der Meister.
Another of the
und letztes Jahr hat es
Sukahara full vaults.
Turnier der Meister geschneit und hat sie gesagt, das fandet sie so toll, so cool, weil sie Schnee liebt. Hat man vielleicht nicht so oft in Spanien tatsächlich, aber hat sie gesagt, das findet sie cool, leider ist es ja kein Schnee.
She is into third place with 13.283, 12.966 for the second vault, just as was the case in qualification, and that means that there's a good chance that Leah Font may be about to secure her first ever honours in World Cup competition. We have one competitor left, but what a competitor. Ung of the Republic of Korea. (24), yet to compete at World Championship level, but the runner-up in Cairo and the second best in qualification for this final. Has such a strong position. Keeps his body very straight throughout the routine. There's a smoothness to his work. Very good finish to the men's Pommel horse final, courtesy of Ung of the Republic of Korea. Barely known at full international level, this gymnast, but what quality he has. Just had a little moment or two of unsteadiness here and there, but it was disguised so well into very small pauses, nothing great. It's easy to see why he had such a lovely execution score in qualification, and that's how he's gone about his business. Very crisp execution, not the same degree of difficulty as some of the others. Look at the toe point as he motors around into the pirouette at the end. It's very nice, almost balletic. Nice gymnastics, and it's paid off again. 15.3, gains a little difficulty, 2/10. His execution, much the same as qualification, just down by a single tenth. And he's on the podium. We'll come back to that in a moment. We have one last vault to come. Carla Navas of Panama City, with its population of 1.9 million in the centre of Panama. Many of them watching on and hopeful for her as she starts with a 1.5 twisting Yurchenko, a little offline. She's been a continental champion on vault. Has a great record in multi-sport games competition. She's the reigning all-around champion at the Central American and Caribbean Games. Won several medals at the Bolivarian Games in 2022.
Letzte Woche beim Weltcup in Kairo noch auf Platz 11 gewesen. Diese Woche hat es ins Sprungfinale geschafft. Und dann sind sie natürlich auch
13.033, so she has 0.3 of penalty marks.
ersten Sprung 13,033. Und Sie sehen hinten Penalty. Absolute 0,3, also dann noch mit beiden Füßen draußen gewesen. Und das Publikum für den zweiten Sprung.
Second vault, the last vault to come in this women's vault final. Year-old Carla Navas. Oh, well, she again has managed to get through that with real physical strength, and she's absolutely thrilled about it. Goodness me. Carla Navas of Panama. She's absolutely overjoyed. Let's have a look back at it again. This is extraordinary. That is not a vault that we see very often at all. Round off, half on, and it's just a question of whether it's a layout or pike position. Mustafa in a vault. That is not something that one sees hugely often at all. Fabulous. What a conclusion to the women's vault final. Yes, she's got it! She has got it, 13.383, and she has the bronze medal. And what's so crucial there is that she is, with 13.733, a full mark higher in difficulty than she was in qualification, hence the reaction. Oh my goodness, Carla Navas of Panama is on the podium. She's just got in there ahead of Leah Font. That is an absolute triumph for the teenager from Panama City. I tell you what, that was an absolutely remarkable conclusion to the vault final. The classified results in the men's pommel horse competition. Nariman Kurbanov winning the title ahead of Ahmad Abu Al-Soud as the race for Paris 2024 goes on. The victory ceremony in the women's vault competition. The bronze medalist Carla Navas of Panama with the Mustafina vault to take third place right at the end. Absolutely brilliant. Valentina Georgieva of Bulgaria, who's come back from injury, continues. She takes second place, 2 World Cups in a row. But there is no doubt whatsoever who is the dominant performer in women's vaulting in World Cup qualification this year. It's An Chang-ok of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. 2 golds in a row.
Dr. Nehat Sayed, sie ist Mitglied des Technischen Komitees Frauen in der FIG. The silver medal is presented by Dr. Nehat Sayed, member of the Technical Committee Women of the FIG. Und die Bronzemedaille wird überreicht von Johanna Gratz.
The medalists in the women's vault competition. And we will now have the national anthem of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Women of the FIG. Und ich bitte Sie nun, sich für die Hymne zu erheben. Und das ist der Applaus für die drei besten Springerinnen beim 47. Turnier der Meister in Cottbus. Ein schönes Bild. Zeit für ein Selfie muss sein.
Impeccable timing on the podium and off it from that great young gymnast from Panama, Carla Navas. Now we have confirmation of those final standings in the women's vault competition. The victory ceremony for the men's pommel horse competition at the Cottbus 2024 World Cup, an Olympic qualification event.
Die Siegerehrung beim Turnier der Meister für Pferd. Die Turnier der Meister Ceremony for Pommel Horse. Der dritte Platz und damit die Bronzemedaille geht an Wong aus Korea.
The winner of the bronze medal, Hoo-ung from the Republic of Korea. This after his silver medal in Cairo. Really strong performances from him. The silver medalist here after winning the title in Cairo, Ahmad Abu Al-Soud of Jordan. He's in a very good position with 2 events left. The double world championship medalist. But today he was beaten, just as he was at the Asian Championships last year, by this man, Nariman Kurbanov, who after finishing 5th in Cairo has really now got his Olympic qualification bid kick-started. That was an excellent performance from a gymnast under some real pressure. And it's setting us up for a fabulous finish in the Baku and Doha legs.
The bronze medal is presented by Tournament Director Mirko Wohlfahrt. Und auch hier bitte ich Sie, sich für die Hymne zu erheben. Und natürlich noch ein Abschlussfoto für die Annalen des Turniers der Meister.
The medalists in the men's pommel horse competition at the Cottbus 2024 World Cup.
Ein bemerkenswertes Turnier in diesem Jahr. Und so, meine Damen und Herren, sehen Sieger aus.